Good morning, YouTube. It's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today we're going to talk about goal setting, which is going to be in our personal growth playlist. And if you haven't checked out the playlist, please do, because I put a lot of work into categorizing and creating new playlists for you so that you can scroll and see what areas interest you, and then you can see all of the videos pertaining to it. Okay, so we're getting ready to hit 2015. How awesome is that? A new beginning, a new year. We can make anything happen. And goal setting is going to be a huge part of that. So now that we're in the week before New Year's, I wanted to talk to you about setting your goals for your business and for your personal life so we can really work together to make 2015 an awesome year. I'm here to tell you, I can personally attest that goal setting works. Last night because I thought, oh my gosh, I actually wrote these down and thought about them and then kind of forgot about them. But the funny thing was that I actually achieved most of the things that I had put into place in my head. I had thought about them, I really was specific and wrote them down, and lo and behold, I had that really worked. And just to show you, you can tell my kids have drawn on this. So this is just a paper that I had written, but it says, I wrote this to myself, you deserve a life you love. And then I wrote some things down that I wanted to do and that I loved. And then I broke those down further. And so these were just notes to myself from exactly a year ago, and I thought that was really neat and I wanted to share them with you. So I really believe in setting goals, but I'm not alone. There was a Harvard case study done in 1979, and what they did was they took all of their MBA students and they asked all of them, do you set goals? And if you do you write them down? Well, a whopping 84% of the MBA students didn't set goals at all. And 13% that did set goals didn't write them down. Only 3% actually set the goals and wrote them down. Well, the interesting part about all of that is 10 years later, they went back and asked those same students, and they evaluated those students' lives and their success and their income and their business. And what they found was of the 13% that actually had goals, they more than doubled what the 84% that didn't have any goals achieved. So the 13% doubled their success just by having goals. And the 3% that had goals and wrote them down, more than 10 times the whole class combined. They did over 10 times the success because they were writing down the goals that they were thinking about. So they were always mindful of what was going on in their life and mindful of trying to hit these benchmarks. So I think that's really interesting, but it's not just the study. There's Oprah Winfrey. She has, you probably heard about it. They're called dream boards, but you can just Google dream boards or vision boards. And there's study after study after study about actually visualizing what you want. Take a picture, put it on a board, make it something that you see every day. And if you look back at one of my first video on goal boards, I do that. And you can see it in a lot of my videos. But I actually put some type of visual representation of the stuff that I want to accomplish and that I want to work on. And it's in my office and I see it every single day. And sometimes I just sit with a cup of coffee and look at it and think about it. And it works, it really does. But aside from that, there's also many books written. That's what this video is dedicated to. So I want us, you and I, to give this a shot for 2015. And there's going to be a lot of important links down below this video. So please take a minute and look at all of those and click on them. So that I use, these are actually on my Twitter account. So if you haven't checked out my social media, my Twitter and stuff, please do. And go ahead and friend me or like me or subscribe to me or follow me or whatever the social media asks you to do. Okay, so when making goals, we're supposed to use the SMART approach. And the SMART approach is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And we're going to talk about all of those just as fast as we can. So this is, you know, a short and sweet video for you. Okay, so the first thing we have is specific. This is the fun part. This is where you vision, you know, your vision for your life. This is where you dream and what you want to create for yourself, your ideal life. You want to go big. Go big. Don't limit yourself. Don't say, oh, well, I really want to do that, but I'm a mom, or, well, but I'm married, or, well, but I don't really have the money. No buts. This is where you dream big, hairy goals for yourself, even if they seem ridiculous. This is the fun part. Visualize your life. Where do you want to live? You know, what do you smell? What do you taste? What do you hear? You know, do you want to be by a babbling brook in the mountains? Be specific. If you have no clue, if you're like, Tracy, I don't really know, this is the type, this is where you can write about what you're passionate about. What excites you? What do you enjoy talking about? What makes time go really, really fast when you're working on it? So this is where we're going to kind of live, especially for this first video. This is what I want you to work on. And once you have that, once you have your specific goals, the M is to make them measurable. And this is where you add measurable details so that you know when you've actually accomplished your goal. And this is where you're going to set actual dates. Again, don't limit yourself. I know a lot of people say make them realistic, which, you know, is actually one of our things, but you don't want to make it realistic in the sense that you are limiting. I like to shoot big. You may not hit the big benchmark, but you're going to achieve way more, you know, than you would have if you had limited yourself at the beginning. So after you visualize your goals for yourself and you make them measurable by adding dates, the next thing you're going to do is make it attainable. What steps do you need to attain your goals? And most of your goals are built up by, you know, many achievements. You know, it might take you years of small successes to attain a goal. It might be a month, it might be 5 years. So this is what steps you're going to take to actually reach it. These are your breakdown of your smaller benchmarks that you need in order to achieve final success. And you may move faster or slower than you expected. Hey, that's okay. We all do. And you can adjust it as you go and gather up, you know, new information, or maybe your thoughts or your emotions change about it. You might omit things, add things, but this is what you need to do, the steps. We're going to break it down into little bite-sized pieces so you're not overwhelmed and you're not giving up and you're not fearful. That's what we're going to talk about in that video. Okay, the next one, the R, is relevant. Why? This is probably the most important step, at least I think it is, because this is why is it worth it when it gets really hard? Because there's going to be times when you're pushing yourself and you're striving that you are really fearful and that you are really kind of like freaked out and you're starting to doubt yourself. It's hard. You feel like you're sliding backwards. And this is where it comes to play, because you have things written down that make all of this worth it. What are you really passionate about? What is really, you know, speaking to your heart, so that when crap hits the fan, you push through it because you really, really, really want those things so bad you can taste them. And that is important. We're going to have a whole video dedicated to that. Okay, and then the last one we have is the T, and that's timely. By when do you want to accomplish your goals? And it's actual dates, it's accountability, it's telling people, it's, you know, if you're looking at it and you're going, okay, I missed that time that I set when I was doing the measurable. I said it was going to take me a month. You know, I'm evaluating it. It's a month later. I'm not even close. And then you can go back and say, okay, I missed my mark. What tips do I have for myself to get myself back on track? You know, what happened? And you're constantly evaluating, you know, what's going on and the progress you're making. And sometimes you come short and you don't like beat yourself up over it. You're just like, okay, what happened? And then you can kind of look at it and say, well, you know, it was just a really busy time in my life. You know, my father was ill, I hurt my ankle, whatever it is. And then you can say, okay, you know, we're just going to extend that. Or if you're making a mistake, okay, I'm not really sticking to my schedule, so I'm not having that time slot to get my goal done. All right, so then you know you need to really focus on sticking to your schedule. That's what timely means, is it's really looking at the dates that you set in the measurable step and seeing if you're hitting them, having tips for yourself if you're not, and then if you do hit them, to celebrate, and that's really fun. Actually, don't scrimp on celebrating with yourself. Really put it out there. Buy a new outfit. Buy something that you've been wanting to buy. And so those are the steps that we're going to be talking about in different videos. Today, we're going to just focus on the specifics. I wanted to give you the whole picture. This is what most people believe is important in goal setting, where you actually stick with it. This isn't we're not doing the random, oh, my resolution is to, you know, lose 10 pounds, and then we just kind of go about our same daily life and we don't give it another thought. This is different. This is where we are actually going to set goals, and we're going to be very specific so we know exactly what we want, because if you don't know what you want, how are you going to get there? And then we're going to give ourselves dates and accountability, and then we're going to make little steps, break them down into benchmark steps so that we know that we're making progress and we're attaining them and we're not getting overwhelmed, so we don't give up. And then we are making them relevant, like, why are we doing this? What is the goal? Why is this important to me? And then we're going to celebrate our successes and give ourselves a little feedback when we're not hitting them. So that's the big picture of what we're going to do. But today we are going to be talking about our vision only. And so when I went to USF for education, some of you education majors out there might remember have added financial, excitable, personable, and responsible. And I took those 9 items here and I wrote them in a steno book, categories, and I wrote them down, skipping 3 lines in between. There's 9 of them. And then I broke them down. Mental is really academic. Are you doing something to challenge yourself, to learn a new skill, those types of things? Well, the second one is physical, you know, like our bodies. The third is emotional. How are you doing emotionally, mentally? And what types of things could you do to make that better? The fourth thing is social. This is where your family, your immediate family, but also your extended family, your friends, any type of social contact comes in. Okay, the 5th category is spiritual. This again for me is my number 1, you know, key category. It's right there with my relationships, because it's my, you know, relationship with God, and whatever spiritual, you know, whatever you practice, spiritual goals are really important to individuals. Number 6, financial. Financial, I'm pretty happy with where that's going, but financial is work and money. Number 7, excitable. You're probably like, what the heck is that? Excitable, what makes you excited? This is so important. This is my biggest lesson learned out of the whole cancer nastiness stuff, is doing things in my life that make me happy, that I'm really looking forward to. I'm not talking like, yeah, I'm talking like, whoa, you know, crazy happy. You need to be putting things like that in your life. If you feel like you're in a rut, if you feel like you're okay, but you're not happy, you're just kind of living your life, you know, day by day, and if you don't feel like you're living your life, this is a category that you really need to pay attention to. And it doesn't take much. Like I said, I did, you know, 2 river rafting, I did zip lining, I did a parachuting. You know, it's only like 4 things in the year, but those 4 things, I look back, I think about all the time. I look at pictures, they excited me. It was fun. I went for it, even though I was scared of it, and it was really empowering. And number 8, personable. This is how you want to be perceived by others, not in a fake kind of way. This is like, okay, I know I'm irritable too much, and I really want to work on, I know other people are thinking I've been really grumpy lately, and I really want to work on, presenting myself in a nice, I want to smile more. It's more like that, like what things do I want to do? Like right now I've been really busy, but I never want to be too busy for my kids. So I'm trying to find that balance, and I wrote it down because I know that's kind of an issue right now. Finding that perfect balance between I really want to get stuff done, but I never want you to feel like I'm too busy for you. And that's with my friends, my kids, my family, everything, because people come first. So that's on my personal list, learning to put things down and say, hey, let's sit and chat. Okay, the last thing is responsible. We're all responsible for certain things that aren't included on this list. I'm responsible for homeschooling my kids. I'm responsible for cleaning my house. Those are things that I'm responsible for. Your things will be different, but this is a category where you can sit and write down what you're responsible for and if there's any areas that need attention with those. So I really feel that this is complete. I feel that this really addresses everything that you would need to consider when making your vision list. And I've shared with you mine. And then after I wrote it down yesterday, I took some time and I wrote smiley faces for the categories that I felt like I did well or I'm feeling confident in, and sad faces in areas that I wasn't, and just kind of like okay faces if I'm like, yeah, it was all right, but maybe it could be better. And then I looked at what I had written, and then I put check marks if I felt like, yeah, if I hit these goals, I'm really happy in all of those categories. So I put little check marks, and then I starred my key areas: my social, my spiritual, my financial, and excitable. And that's going to be your homework for today. Different links below, so look under the video. Also check out all the social media that goes out, because I do post, worksheets. I post entrepreneurial traits. I post different things that I think would be helpful to you. And subscribe to me on YouTube. Please do, because that helps me reach my goals. My last thing is, if you could, comment below. Part of that accountability is, let's go ahead and share with our community some of the things that we're trying to do. It could be a personal goal or a business goal, or maybe your #1 goal for 2015. You can write several. Just go ahead and comment below. And if you know something about someone else's comment, please respond to them. This isn't just my channel. I would love to have the interaction with us all, talking to everybody. So if someone's talking about, their goal is to go on a juice diet, and you're like a juice diet guru, please respond and, just give them some advice and some encouragement on, someone else's comment. So, and do that on all the videos, not just this video. I would love to have everybody commenting on everybody else's video and really, giving that feedback, because there's lots of ways to do something. And I know mine's not, the best or the most perfect. So we all learn from each other. So thanks, guys. I hope this helped, and I'm really excited about 2015.